Alright, so we out here today. We lowered the front suspension a little bit yesterday. And we still haven't got where we want. I think we're gonna lower it, the front of the cab, an inch or inch and a half. And that'll probably get us in the ballpark of where we want to be. But today I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to respray the cat yellow on the engine. And I wasn't going to do this. I was going to leave the chassis like it is for the show. But I think I've decided that I'm going to blacken the chassis out just for the show. That's not the color it's going to be when we paint the truck. But the color it's going to be for the show. I think it would just look a lot better if I would go ahead and black it out and have it looking pretty decent. So that's probably what we're going to work on today. We'll get this chassis, this motor, get a good coat of cat yellow on it, because I just had gotten pretty much a tack coat on there. We'll get it sprayed, and then we'll get to work on cleaning this chassis up and get it ready to paint. And then we're going, like I said, we'll come down another inch on the front of this. So this space right here will disappear, and that should get us down to where we want to be. So I polished on this step here. It's not completely done, but it looks pretty good. It will look even better. I just need to work on a little bit more. But I wanted to just do this to see what it would look like. So we'll get back on this before we rehang. We're going to take this battery box off, and we'll rehang it and polish it up when we rehang it. So. But talking about parts, I got some parts in today. Some parts you can get, some parts you can't. But I got these cool lollipop turn signals. They're amber on one side and red on the other side. And that 68 did have turn signal on the fender, and somebody filled the holes in the past. But my thought process is the more lights the better. And so we got these we're going to put on the fender, back on the fenders. And then it currently has these torpedo style lights, but they look pretty rough. And so I got these torpedo lights here, and they're LED. They look old school, but they'll light up pretty nice. I want it to look old school, but I want to have modern lighting on it. So that's what we got. And then we're probably going to run 4-inch tail lights with a center panel and lighted mud flap hangers. So I hadn't gotten them, hadn't ordered them, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get, but something like that. So some parts you can get, some parts you can't, but we're working on what we can get, and looks like parts might be the hold up on this project to be able to get it done for the Kenley show, but we'll see. So we'll show you as we go. I told you guys that I'm gonna black this frame out for the show, which is not going to be the final color. But there's several places on here where we've moved cross members or mounts. And what happened over the years was that water got between the mount and dirt got between the mount, and then it caused pitting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this pitting. I mean, it's not deep, but it's something that's going to show through the paint. So we're just going to put a skim coat of filler on here so that it'll look better. And anybody that's done a show truck or a truck that's got a nice painted frame has used filler on it, because if they didn't, it will look horrible, because any truck that's got any age on it is going to have some pitting on it. And then if they did a frame stretch at all, then there'll be body work because of grinding marks and so forth. So we're going to lay a little bit of filler in here just to clean this thing up just a little bit. Alright, so I just want to tell you guys, you know, my videos aren't how-to videos. My videos are pretty much entertainment and kind of to show you that whatever your skill level, don't be afraid to get out there and do something. So this is just for entertainment, just for fun, and I'm trying to fix up some old trucks. So don't take for granted that this is the only way to do it, or this is the right way to do it, or any of that. This is the way I'm doing it, and right, wrong, or however, it's how I know how to do it, and hopefully the end result will come out to where it looks like I halfway know what I'm doing. But anyhow, we've got a little filler spread to try to clean up these little pitted areas. We're going to let that cure out before we get on sanding it. But there's some other areas that need to be addressed before we can even think about painting anything, and one of them is this drive shaft right here. So one of my favorite tools, it's kind of dangerous because it throws little wires everywhere, but this cut brush on a grinder will clean up a lot of loose rust and scale and stuff. And it's, like I said, one of my favorite tools to clean up with. And so I'm going to work on this drive shaft, and I'll show you kind of what it does. Alright, so we're just getting started sanding on some of this body filler that I laid on the frame to get some of this pitting covered up. And then, like I said, this is the drive shaft before, and this is after wire wheeling it. So the wire wheel will clean it up amazing. I mean, the difference between that and this is, it might not look like it's that much of a difference, but it is. So we're just getting this filler sanded down a little bit, just like I said, to cover the pitting up. It's not really any thickness at all. Just because black shows everything, and we're trying to make it look as good as possible. And while we've been doing body work, Boots has been in here taking the interior out the sleeper, and I think that panel's probably been replaced. What do you think? Galvanized with Japan stamped on the back of it? She's getting it done though. She'll get all these panels out and get to covering them. Like I said, I'm just making it up as I go. Boots is the only expert on this job. She's an expert seamstress, so you can believe what she does is right and will look good when she gets done with it. Okay. I'm getting this thing cleaned up so I can black it out. And the most critical part, let's see, the sleeper goes from this mark here to this mark here. So from the side, this is kind of critical. The tanks you probably can see from up here up. So this spot right here on the top is critical. This is not so much. And then from here back to the mud flap hanger, or maybe a little past the mud flap, a quarter fender hanger. So what we're trying to do is get this section of frame right through here to look the best it can. Clean it up, and we're going to black it out. And it's looking pretty good. I mean, it is a almost 30-year-old frame, but we got a lot of old paint that needs to come off. And then, like I said, a very little bit of light pitting that we're going to fix so it doesn't look so terrible. But we're getting it. Might not get it sprayed today, but we will get it sprayed probably tomorrow. And then we'll come in and we'll touch in the backside. So we'll probably paint the front section first. And I don't know if we'll do the inside of the frame rails and the drive shaft at the same time or not. We'll have to see. If we don't, then we'll tape the outside of the rails off so they don't get overspray on them. So that's what we're working on.